What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Mafia Midway, your midweek therapy session, talking all things Buffalo Bills. Mr. Podger, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing well, Mike. Doing well. It's been a while since you and I have been on together, so excited to be here, doing a little bit of therapy.
Yeah,
Still recovering from that loss on Sunday, but we're gonna figure it out and get right this weekend. So I'm ready
yeah,
for it.
I'm right there with you. So you're 72 hours past the debacle that was the Miami game. And how are you feeling now? How are you feeling? Have you had a chance? I don't know if you rewatched the game. I don't know if you've had a chance to just digest things a little bit more.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling here 72 hours after that debacle happened?
I'm back in the vicious cycle of thinking of who we're gonna play in the Super Bowl. So right back on the wagon. Yeah.
I mean, so I'm there with you, Jake. Honestly, I think I got past it on Monday, and I'm not worried. I'm not worried, and I'll give you some reasons why. I mean, last year Bills were the number one in turnover differential, right? We knew that probably wouldn't be sustainable this year, and it hasn't. And those three losses that we've had against the Patriots, we lost the turnover battle 3-1. We lost by 3 points.
Yep.
The Falcons, we lost the turnover battle 2-0, and we lost by 10. The Dolphins, we lost the battle 3-2. We lose by 17. However, the two turnovers from Tua, you can kind of consider them arm punts, so to speak, at least one of them for sure. Whereas Josh Allen throwing that interception in the end zone, yeah, that was a bad play. But they happen. It happens to the best. The best. And then the whole, I'm not mad at Josh anymore. I know people were like, dude, why is he taking a tush push and not going down? Jake, I don't know, man. If you're competitive, and I know you are, you've played sports, and he gets that tush push and he gets it going.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want to be thinking about. I'm like wanting to take this to the house because he was moving. That thing kept moving. Eventually, it's Josh Allen. People might just fall off of him and he takes it to the house. I'm not thinking fall down. I don't know how you could at that moment, right? You're
Yeah.
in you're in it right there. And you're like, man, I'm doing this for my team. And yeah, it was a great play. Somebody punched it out. And the James Cook one as well. Those were great plays. Those were great plays by the defense. It wasn't just like Josh, nobody hit him, hit off his knee. He just dropped it. No, that whole peanut punch seems to be a real thing, and you're seeing it more and more. And so we lose those three games because we lose the turnover battles. Honestly, that can be cleaned up, and things are going to swing our way. Going to swing our way, so I'm not really concerned about that. As far as Brady, everyone like, oh, Dable's available. Fire Brady, or hire Dable for some help.
Passing game coordinator or something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work at all. There's gonna collide. Joe Brady and Dable would collide in that. And I'm not mad at Joe Brady. Should he and Josh Allen take heat? Absolutely. Absolutely. They make a lot of money, Jake, and they're paid a lot of money to do their job. You and I, we're not paid as much as them, but if we don't do our job, we're going to take some heat. We're going to take some heat. So I expect the heat, but I do believe they will turn it around. I believe they'll start winning the turnover battles or just removing the turnovers altogether. I believe Brady will make adjustments. Got Josh Palmer coming back. He was a full practice today. I think, we've always said, I feel like they should be using their running backs out of the backfield. Look what A-Chain does. Look what they do in Miami. The dude swings out to the left all the time, right? And he is that safety valve for Tua. Tua will look and check down. It seems like everyone's always 10 yards off of A-Chain and he's wide open. And they also run him on routes. James Cook can do that. All three of our running backs are good out of the backfield catching the ball. Use them a little more. I just feel like they'll get it together. I also thought, man, a couple of years ago, 2023, we were 6-6. We're 6-6. And we went on a run. We ran the board. We finished 12-6, won the division. We're 6-3, man. We're 6-3. Things don't look good for winning the East, but I believe for sure the Bills will make the playoffs. And I also think who knows? I mean, if the Dolphins are turning it around, Patriots have to face them. Heck, the Jets have won 2 games, right? 2 out of the last 3, and they had a bye. They've won their last 2 games they played. And interdivision games, Jake, you've known this, right? You know this. I don't care how bad of a team you are and how good of a team you are. When those division rivals play, it's usually close games, and you do see upsets like this. So that happens. So for me, past it, I'm not worried. We're 6-3. Yes, if you throw out the numbers, I think we're like, 17% chance to win the division. Hell, it was a lot worse a couple of years ago when the Dolphins had, a 2-game lead on us, 3-game lead? It was something crazy.
Yeah, it was 3 games. Yep.
And so there is a possibility that we still win the East. So until that's not a possibility, okay, move on. As long as we make the playoffs, and then as well as I know, you get hot at the right time towards the end of the season, you make a run, and you go as far as you can. And hopefully, this team, I will ask you, do you still think this is a Super Bowl caliber team?
I do. I know it's maybe crazy and blasphemous to say right now, especially coming off that loss. But I think if you tell me before the season starts, if the Bills were to be 6-3 at the 9-game mark, how would you feel about this team? I would have felt okay. Yeah. I understand, the losses that we have are bad losses, but like you said, Mike, you fix one thing. You don't turn the ball over as much. And maybe things are swinging in a different direction. I definitely think things swing in a different direction with the Patriots game.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, the Falcons game as well. And I would say the Dolphins game. I mean, we don't throw an interception in the red zone there. I would say more often than not, we're going to score a touchdown, Yeah. So it's a couple plays that really swing things, and it's the NFL. They're pro athletes as well.
Exactly.
So, and I'll say this, I know New England has a 2-game lead right now, but water always finds its level. Like, they're a good team, but there are holes in that team as well. And I think they need to be a little concerned. Like, they've been playing really good, but I think they can be beat. And we play them later on this year too. So we'll have a chance at redemption. And I think that game's going to be really important. So I still think winning the division, very, very doable as well.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I think they still play the Ravens, I believe, right? Is that one of their tougher games
That's
left?
Right.
And they have the Bills. And if the Dolphins keep playing the way they played us, there's another tough one for them. And like I said, I already said the Jets, who knows? Interdivision games, you just never know. Let me say hi to a few people, Jake, because got a few good folks out there. We got the Trek reviewer coming in. He says, hi, all. Say goodbye to Brandon Codrington. He thinks Bosa will be back next year. I certainly hope so. He says, cut Cam. Can't tackle Cam. Well, little do you know, Cam Lewis was one of the – we both have little things going on tonight, so excuse us.
Yeah, classic.
Cam Lewis was one of the top PFF ratings for this game. There was the one play. I know, Jake, I sent you the pictures, and I saw that you were something must have
Yeah, I
went wrong.
screwed up on that completely, Mike. Yeah.
There was that one play. It was a big one. It was the run where he took it, 50-something yards, I think it was.
59 yards.
Cam Lewis was playing that nickel. They were playing was playing like that third linebacker. But if you watch that play, and again, I really have a hard time with by the way, Steve, see you out there. He says the Sabre game, which we are leading. Yes, let's do this. Trimming some ribs, and you get me hungry.
Oh,
and the Nickel City Mafia crew. Does life get much better? Yeah, love that, Steve. It'd get better if we had some of your ribs there that you're cooking and some steak. But thanks for joining us, Steve. So, in case, where was I going, Jake? Where was I going here? I can't.
You were talking about Cam Lewis.
Oh yeah. So that play, he's playing like that third linebacker. Almost looks like, if you look at the lineup, almost looks like we're in a 4-3, but Cam's the third there on the right. What I have a problem with is I've had a problem with our linebackers. Both Milano, both Bernard, they don't seem to fill holes at all.
Yeah.
Now I think Milano was in the right place. So he goes out and they kind of made it look like they were going right with it. So Milano slides out. Cool. Bernard over pursues as well. And now you have Cam. Now, yes, Cam, clear shot. You got to make that. He's right in the hole. And I've seen this with Cam before. He does seem to go down a little early, take his eye off the runner. He wants to hit him with the shoulders and knock him down. So, and that was just a nice cut by A-Chain. And then he takes off. Milano almost gets back, so close. Poyer has a shot at him.
Yep.
About 10 yards down the field. Poyer runs at him, leaps, can't make the tackle. And then it was off to the races. So yeah, Cam on that one play, but there was many plays that he did extremely well. You heard the announcers. I mean,
yeah, Jason McCourty gave him a lot of love,
right?
Yeah.
How many times did you hear his name and them giving him support?
Mm-hmm.
In any case, he's not a starter for a reason, Trek. But he's a solid backup if you need one, and he's so diversified he can play all over the field. So, in any case, so Jake, we got some news today. Let's see. We signed defensive end Morgan Fox to the practice squad. I believe Morgan Fox was Michael Hoyt before Michael Hoyt became, over to the Rams. He played for the Rams, Morgan Fox. He, from what I understand, he was released, I think, in preseason. The team was looking to go younger. Somebody had just signed him for a 2-year deal. So somebody had him I forget what team it was. You'll have more information, I'm sure. So, and then you look at his stats, they're not bad. And he's 31, I think. 31, I believe. So what's your thoughts on them signing him? I think it was a good move.
I do too. I think the Bills have found the right type of player that they were trying to appoint to this defensive line now that Michael Hoyt is gone. And you're right, Mike, in saying that he was very similar skill set wise. He runs a little bigger, 6'3", 275. And what I love with him is that he's more of a tweener. So he plays inside. He could play outside. If you wanted to play more of like a 3-tech, he can do so. But he has the speed to also play a little bit more outside as a traditional 4-3 defensive end. So what I really like is the versatility. He started games in the NFL. He's a vet, 31 years old, like you said. And I think he's still got something left in the tank. I mean, last year he had 3.5 sacks. He's removed, I think, 3 years now from his best season with the Chargers, where he had 6.5 sacks, 38 tackles, started 12 games that year. I think he started 3 games last year. He's been more of a rotational guy. So very similar to Hoyt. And I think, he might not be at the same exact level as Hoyt right now because Hoyt is a little bit younger, but he's going to operate in a similar manner. So I really like the signing. I think it's a good move. And you saw how efficient the defense operated when Hoyt was in the game. Yeah. And I think Fox can offer the same type of value. So really excited about the move.
Do you think he's elevated this week? I mean, he's just coming off sitting on the couch there for a bit.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a little bit to get him back up to speed before they think about elevating him.
I don't know. I don't think there was any injury issues or anything like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did elevate him, especially because I know Epi was dealing with a concussion and some of our other defensive linemen. I think Bosa finally got the club removed from his hands, so that's good news. But you look at some of the guys that we've been elevating, and like Fedarian Mathis and some of those other guys, I could definitely see them bringing Morgan Fox up instead of one of those guys because he could play inside or outside. So giving us that ability is huge. I think this is a great opportunity, especially against Tampa, to do so. So I would not be surprised whatsoever.
Now you mentioned Epinesa. He was a full practice today, so that's a good sign. So I think he'll be playing. Also, full practice today was TJ Sanders, our second-round pick defensive tackle. That is huge.
Yeah.
Now, he had been struggling out of the gate, right? He wasn't really showing up. I mean, he wasn't making a lot of splash plays, but he's had some time off, and hopefully he's ready to go. And I think that's absolutely wonderful to have him back. And Josh Palmer was a full practice today, as I think
Fedarian Mathis actually was on the injury report as well, from what I saw.
Yes, he was. He did not practice today.
Just a non-participant, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So most people were limited practice. Even Cam Lewis was limited practice. But Palmer was a full practice. Phillips was a full practice. TJ Sanders, Khalil was limited with ankle ribs. Jack Thompson limited. Dorian limited. Be great to
And
get.
Mike,
Yeah,
I got to ask you about your boy, LJ, going on IR.
I'm
How
heartbroken.
we feeling?
I'm
I was going to
heartbroken,
say.
dude. It was so great to see him finally. Again, he had been elevated before, but I knew he was going to get more play time. Right? You knew he was going to be on the field for more snaps. And right away, they start running his way. It was first play they ran away from him. Second play they run his way. I'm like, he's going to finally get his first stat line. Right? He's going to get his first stat. And it looked crazy. It almost looked like he hits the dude, and everyone's thinking, wow, that running back, which was A-Chain, blew him up. No, he didn't. He kind of hit him, and there was two guys lower that kind of rolled up on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just falls back real quick. You see that. But it's heartbreaking because the dude, this was his chance. Now we're going to have to wait. We probably won't see him till next year. I know it's not an ACL tear. I don't know if there's an opportunity for him to come back this year. Do you know anything more about that? The injuries that he had?
I think he's done. Yeah, it looked like it was a torn MCL and a PCL. So the fact they put him on IR tells me, his season's probably over. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's disappointing because, like I said, I had high hopes for him, and I still will in the future. I did not know. Apparently, Trey was asking me in the Discord, had I known he's had 2 torn ACLs. Is that true? Did he have 2 torn ACLs in college? Same knee or different?
I think both different knees, I want to say. So that's at least good, but when you're tearing multiple ligaments, it's not ideal.
Yeah. Interesting. So if I was to know that, would I have drafted him? It would definitely have bumped him down for me. Like, I didn't know that. However, so I'm not going to blame them. I feel like the dude was just an athletic specimen. The dude had everything you'd want, and he just needed time to, get some coaching at the NFL level, playing against the NFL players. And I feel like he would have been very successful, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll see if I'm right or I'm dead wrong. But I'm not giving up on him. We got Mr. Tony Altieri trying to come in and say limited. They need extra practice after last week.
Yeah, what would you do, Tone? Would you be going full pads all week, or what are we thinking there? Absolutely, Trek. Yeah, Deion Walker. Trek. You called it. I know a lot of people were very high on him, and you were one of those guys. And I'll tell you what, man, he's definitely been the best pick, I think, out of everyone so far this year. Harrison has a shot, but Deion Walker's just been so damn good, man.
Shot. That's another reason why I'm so positive about going forward. I still feel, I know Harrison got beat on the Waddle deep pass, but the way he recovered, and that's going to happen. Even the best, most seasoned corners get beat. And so that was a great learning moment. And like you had mentioned in the show, on the post game, the recovery was fantastic. Dude, he was there. If he just had been able to turn his head a little bit and see the ball, he could have possibly made a play.
And it was a great ball by Tua. Credit to him. That was perfect. That was right in the bucket. You see what Harrison's doing out there. It's kind of what I thought Kaiir Elam was going to be, Mike.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's refreshing to see a first round corner doing what he's doing. So love that.
So that's looking really good for the rest of the season. Tony says, got to rest the horses. It's a long season. And then he says, Dan Hawkins always used to say, fresh horses win races.
I love that. Phenomenal. Yep.
Yeah, I was talking to Tony today, and Tony's like, the Bills, they always seem to play with their food, which seems to be true, right?
Yeah.
But he was like, I have no doubt they'll be in the playoffs, right? It's a long season. And that also inspired me a little bit, talking to him. He knows ball. He's played it.
Yeah.
So anyhow, thanks for joining us, Tony. Good to see you out there. Other news is we signed wide receiver McCole Hardman to the practice squad. You can remember him being on the Chiefs. He was a speedster. I don't think he ever lived up to what they expected there, but not a bad move there, Jake, right?
No.
He's made some big plays, especially against us.
Yeah, big moments, big plays. He's caught touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Yeah, and why not join the op, right? Like he's sitting on the couch right now and he could still play. He's only 27 years old. He offers that long distance sprinter speed. And I think also a lot of things kind of point to him maybe being a return man.
Yeah.
I know I think it was Sal Capaccio who had mentioned it, but he said as far as the average starting field position for this Bills team this year, it's one of the worst. I think the Eagles are the only team that's worse in terms of starting field position when they return the football. So this to me, as Trek says, yeah, Brandon Codrington, I think he's going to be gone. He's on the outs. I mean, the guy's only played in 4 games this year. He's been inactive the last, 5 games? So it makes a lot of sense to make Hardman your return guy. Unless you want to just keep Khalil Shakir as like that safety net who can just catch it, but it's not really going anywhere with it. I mean, Ray Davis has been okay on kickoff returns, but I feel like every time he gets a long return, there's a flag on it, which is really the case for most returns this day and age. But Hardman has the speed. I think he's done it at a high level. He was an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler his rookie year as a return man. So I would not mind giving him a shot there. I think he could really contribute and do something for this special teams unit. It's been bad this year, Mike.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Shakir just seems to want to secure it, which is great. There are certain situations where that's all you want. You're up in a game, maybe it's a snow game, and you want to put somebody reliable back there who's not going to cough off the ball. However, you do want some guys that could make a play. And so I like that, putting Hardman back there. It is weird, right? With the new kickoff rules, there should be, in my opinion, they're only a few yards apart from one another. There should be less penalties on these things. There should be less penalties. Yet, like you said, every time something good happens, there's always some dang penalty that's thrown. It's like, come on, how does that even happen when you're 5 yards apart? Let's see here. Mr. Brian, I haven't seen Brian in a while.
Dable, the actual Brian Dable.
Yes, let's talk about this. I was going to ask you this, but let me see here. Let me see what Steve says real quick. We're going to come back to Mr. Dable's comment here. You guys are less worried than I. Brady makes me very nervous. I find more fault in his passing schemes than I do J17 and the receivers. All 3 have fault with this, though. All 3 have fault. Yes, agree. Again, though, Steve, I don't know. I don't know if I just become immune to seeing this type of, like I said, I'm really falling back to a couple years ago where we got off to the 6-6 start. Season looked like we're done, and we went on a run. And I think now there was a kickstart during it, like 6-6. They fired Dorsey, and Brady gets elevated, and things just turned around. Same players, different scheme. And I just believe Brady can turn this around. I believe Brady, and of course you have the MVP, got to be able to turn this around. And of course, get Palmer back, use the running backs more. I don't know why, Steve. I just feel comfortable they're going to turn this around. We've seen this play over and over again.
It's funny, too. I mean, we have a pattern. Since 2020, the team has gone 13 wins to 11 wins every other season. So 13, 11, 13, 11, 13, maybe 11 again, which I would not like to see, but there's a pattern.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, right. I'm curious here. So I was going to ask you this question later with Mr. Dable joining us here. Thank you, Brian. Good to see you as always. Why do you think Dable failed in New York? I mean, his first season takes him to the playoffs. Hadn't been there in a long time. Makes the playoffs. And then things seem to go south. And so why do you think it failed? And with that said, why does anyone think bringing Dable to Buffalo for any type of position help would be a good thing?
I think Dable is an excellent play caller and a really good offensive coordinator. I do not think he is meant to be a head coach. I think he's a good leader of men, but not in the sense of being a head coach. And sometimes that's okay. Like you'll see these offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators go and try to be that. Spagnuolo tried to do it. It didn't work out for him. Sometimes guys are just meant to be coordinators, and I think Dable is meant to be a coordinator. I will say this. I don't think he was done any favors by Joe Shane. Getting rid of Saquon Barkley was like the kiss of death. And then on top of that, they were dealing with an extension for Daniel Jones. They were forced to play him. And I just think things were right. I mean, after that initial playoff season, I don't know what happened after that, but things were just totally out of function and just did not work out. And I think obviously Saquon Barkley leaving was really the kiss of death when it's all said and done. So, yeah, sometimes I think guys are just meant to be coordinators, and I think that's Daboll, which is fine. And I think he's an excellent offense coordinator at that.
Yeah, I mean, look at the OC from the Patriots.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, look at him. How many times has he had an opportunity? Was he coached twice?
2 times, yeah. So he had it with Denver in 2008, and then he did the same with Las Vegas.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're right. Daboll seemed to me like somebody who could be successful because he did have that, if you're not playing well, he's going to get in your face, which he did with Josh a couple times. He held Josh accountable, which was, some people think that's what Brady's missing. Like Brady's too much of a nice guy. I don't know enough. I'm just listening to what people say. I don't see it. But, that's where Daboll was a little different. We knew Daboll got in his face. And I don't know if Josh is at that level now where he needs that. He shouldn't need that. So, again, I agree with you why Daboll probably got let go. But it's a bummer because he got off to such a good start. And I was pulling for him, right? And like you said, Saquon leaves and goes on and wins a freaking Super Bowl with the Eagles, and they probably should have kept him around. And did they lose? I mean, I heard everybody coming into this year that they're going to have the best defensive line at least.
Yeah.
Do you think that's held up? It doesn't seem to be, right?
I mean, Brian Burns is like leading the league in sacks, so he's going off this year. Yeah. But everyone else, I feel like there's just been a total underperformance done by everyone. I really haven't heard much even about Sexy Dexter Lawrence this year. So I heard Thibodeau was on the trade block. I just don't think that things have gone exactly according to plan. But yeah, that defense on paper coming into the year looked nasty.
Yeah. Tony's saying, well, first of all, Mr. Daboll is trying to say that there'll be a wild card team and he thinks they'll exit early.
I hate that, Brian. I don't love it, but I can see it. I don't love that, but you might.
Do you think there has to be more of a change? I'm more concerned about the defense. Like, I believe the offense can turn it around. We have the pieces. We have the players. They're not much different from last year. You can argue maybe teams have caught up and they know the blueprint. I don't believe that, especially when you have such a good running game. You should be able to feed off that run game. I know if they shut it down, you definitely got to come up with some things, and I think they'll do that. I feel like the bigger thing that needs to be fixed going into the playoffs is that defense. And I don't know if it's going to take benching Milano and Bernard, because Dorian Williams and Jack Thompson have been playing really well, or maybe getting them on the field more. What do you think between the offense and the defense? What do you think has to turn the corner more to get us? I know it's both. You're going to say a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Which is the bigger one that has to turn the corner, you think?
I'm going to say offense.
Really? Okay.
I think, you go back to the game against the Dolphins. I think the defense still played good enough to win that game, even though the linebackers did not play well. I mean, they had 16 points allowed going into the fourth quarter. The offense just laid an egg. I mean, I think really when you go back to that game and you look at what happened, Josh needs to elevate his game a little bit. I don't want to get on him too much about this, but he really did not take what the defense gave him. They ran primarily cover 3 the entire game. That middle of the field was totally jammed up, but he had a lot of stuff underneath that he could have taken, and he just didn't do that. And I think he waited too long, and the problem is no one's open at that point, and he just is trying to make a play and make things happen himself. It's not always a bad thing, but more often than not, it kind of screwed the team up, and he really needed to play a little more in structure. And with this Dolphins team, as we've seen in the past, they've baited him into doing different things. And I think the Dolphins have done a good job of playing this bend, don't break defense against the Bills even. And that's sort of what they did on Sunday, and it worked in their favor for sure.
I think every team's doing that, right? The blueprint's there. I think every team's playing the Bills. Why wouldn't you? Why would you change anything? You see what's been beating them. Buffalo knows this. It just has to make some adjustments. And again, I don't understand why they're not using their running backs more out of the backfield.
How about more Khalil Shakir instead of behind the line of scrimmage too? I would like to see him more as like a Cole Beasley type option, more of the option routes. We've seen a lot less of that. like he can do the behind the line of scrimmage stuff because he is essentially like a running back and a receiver in one. But let's do like even just a 7-yard pivot route or like a choice route or something, right? I mean, I would love to see some more of that as well.
Yeah, even though Josh has been doing okay with that, like he does quick turn and he throws it. He had been bad in the past. He's been connecting on that more so than not. He missed one badly with Shakir, but I agree with you, man. Get Shakir out on a quick route.
I mean, dude, right? Average depth of target for him over the last like 4 games is less than 2 yards. It's crazy.
Wes Welker, Edelman. Let's do some of these plays like these guys used to do, right? Get them out there.
Cole Beasley, one of our own.
Beasley, yeah.
Right?
These little screen plays to the guy. I get it. He's yak yards after catch. He's one of the best, but dude, they're feeding on that now. They know it's coming, so they're watching for it. Let's see here. Tony says the connection between a play caller and a signal caller is the most important relationship in sports. It can elevate a good quarterback to greatness and allow an OC to open up the entire playbook.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You think that's missing, Tony, between Josh and Mr. Brady?
I don't know if the connection is missing. I think going off of what Brian says in this next comment, this game was a lot of Josh trying to do too much instead of staying more disciplined and taking what the defense gives him, because that's how Brady kind of ran this offense on Sunday, like based on the play calls. I feel like Josh kind of went away from Brady's game plan and audibled out of some things. Even on that 4th and 1 play, or I'm sorry, not the 4th and 1, but the 3rd and 1 run to James Cook. Josh killed that, and he called the run at the line. So there were things that he did in this game that are somewhat head-scratching. And I think Josh will admit, like, he didn't play his sharpest game from a mental standpoint. And I do think, like, last year what made him successful and not turn the ball over as much was because, and you saw it, Mike, a lot more passes to the backs, a lot more of these dump-offs and checkdowns. And we need to get back to that a little bit more because then it opens everything else up. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I agree. And then Tony says, more important than a pitcher and a catcher, more important than golfers and caddy.
Funny. I love that. Yeah, I agree, Tone. I definitely agree with that.
Shakir and Moore.
Absolutely.
More downfield would be nice. I feel like Moore is the most underutilized players on the offense. We are just using the speed of Shakir, Moore, and Samuel. I don't even feel like we're using Samuel enough as well. Like, he's a 4-3 guy. Yeah. And Shakir is more of a he's a high 4-5 guy or 4-4.
I think he's 4-4-1.
I don't know if it's up and down, but he looks like it. He definitely on the field. He makes enough plays and he's got enough moves.
I actually tell you, I'm going to look this up because I'm curious.
I think it was a 4. I'm going to say 4-4-6, somewhere around there. Still fast, plenty fast. Don't get me wrong. And then Elijah Moore. I heard all these good things.
Mike. 4-4-3.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-4-3.
It's pretty good.
And then you have Moore that everyone says that's going to be our guy to go deep, and that hasn't happened. So I feel like we got guys that can go deep. We talk about what is everyone around our team got, cement boots on or something like that.
Yeah,
These are guys that can run deep routes. I'm not sure. The only one we ever seem to want to go deep to is Coleman. And we just throw that ball up down the sideline. Now he made one catch, but most of the time it's not even a 50-50 ball. It's not like a 50-50 ball to me is taking advantage of Coleman's height, his size, and his leaping ability. Dude played basketball. Dude he's already 6'4", 215. Throw that ball high to him. Give him an opportunity to use his skills. If you're just throwing it shoulder level, I don't know how much of a 50-50 ball that really is. Like, what do you expect them to do? I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think with Coleman too, it's I've heard the clamor to move him inside and play slot, and I think that can work, but not in the traditional sense of like a Julian Edelman or Wes Welker type. That's not him. He's 6'4", 215, and he can't move like that. Yeah. He also, I think, from a slot receiver point of view, I just don't see Coleman being that guy to run choice routes or anything like that. Like, that is not his game. I think his game is winning inside with his body on slant routes, maybe even on crossers, stuff like that. Very simple routes, which is not great to say because you'd like to see him be able to run more routes in the route tree. You could still use him on back shoulder and jump balls too, but I think you move him inside, he has a much better chance to win a matchup against a nickel corner or a linebacker or a safety as compared to an outside number one corner straight on. I just don't think that's going to happen. The only way it is when you throw a jump ball where he can use his size and win that matchup.
Do you think we're at a point where, let's say Palmer's back, that Coleman should see less snaps on the field?
I kind of do. Yeah, I think we're sort of forcing it. I think Brady acknowledged that he wanted to use him and try to put him in positions to succeed, but it just really has not worked. There's been a lot of talk from the media to incorporate him in the offense and treat him like a number one receiver. But I think the reality is he's more of a complimentary guy, and that's okay. We need to come to that realization sooner rather than later. And this is no disrespect to Coleman, but I think his game is best suited for, these slant routes, these crossers, the back shoulder, and jump ball, and that is it. He is a limited skill set guy, and that's all right. The sooner we learn that, the better. So I would like to see more snaps from Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel. We're paying Curtis Samuel enough money, $24 million over 3 years. I mean, come on, let's figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. So maybe they, shake things up there a little bit. They've definitely got options. It's not been working with Coleman, so sit him down a little bit. Tony's calling Coleman Amari 2.0.
Oh, come on.
I don't think he's there, Tony. And by the way, Amari was still
Amari Cooper's a 10,000-yard receiver, Tony. I hope he's Amari 2.0. I hope so. Please.
Oh, man. We say this. It's funny because, we get Cooper, and Cooper has I think it was the first game. Kind of scored a touchdown, and it was
66 yards.
Oh, man, here
4
we
for
go.
66 and a touchdown.
Yeah,
yep.
So wonderful. Here we roll. You don't really have a lot of stats with us. However, he's always going to be well known for that play in the snow where he catches the screen pass, pitches it back to Josh Allen, and Josh Allen does the Superman thing. Great picture. But you always said, Jake, that he did require the CB1 to watch him, which opened things up for the other players. And it goes back to a point Tony said to me this morning. He says, imagine if the Bills had a wide receiver one, how much better Shakir would be.
Yeah.
Right? That dude would be catching, like he'd be catching things all day long.
It'd be like Steph and Cole Beasley from, 4 years ago.
Yep. And then Steve says, Coleman needs to be thrown to on comeback routes to set up for his deep shot. We just do not throw to anyone enough to let any player set things up later in the game.
Yeah, that's fair too,
That's
Steve.
a good point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what you used to say on the edge players that we have, right, on defense. Like, we rotate so much, like Epinesa, how do you get, you're only going to make, you're going to beat the other offensive tackle only a couple times a game, typically, if they're good tackles. And you're setting that up all day long. If you're not on the field enough, it's not going to happen. But I think the same thing relates to what Steve said here about the receiver.
Yeah, I agree. And you look at Elijah Moore too. I want to talk about him because I know we mentioned it above there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Elijah Moore's a 4.35 guy, Mike.
Yeah.
This dude can fly. And he operated at just about every single receiver position in Cleveland last year. And he was really successful doing it with much, much worse quarterback play. So let's give this guy a shot. Like, let's try to figure it out and put 2 and 2 together here. Come on now.
Yeah, I think there was did I hear that? You guys say that on the post game is why is a guy like Elijah Moore having what did he have last year? What was his stats? They're pretty good, right?
It was like 60 catches or something. It was pretty good numbers. Yeah.
And you're a 4.35 guy, and we can't figure out a way other than these little jet sweeps to try to run with them.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have that one play, I think it was against the Chiefs, where we threw him down the middle, pretty deep pass, which was nice. Do more of that.
Right. 61 catches last year, 538 yards. The year before that, 59 catches, 640 yards. This is with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, last year, quarterback play was at an all-time low.
Who was that? Was that Flacco throwing him the ball?
No, so last year was Jameis, Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and Bailey Zappi. So yeah, there you go.
Crazy. So Elijah Moore, did you finish talking about him? You said you want to talk about him a little bit more.
Yeah. I just feel like the fact that you want to talk versatility, I feel like this is a perfect Buffalo Bills player in general. So I can't understand it. I mean, he should definitely be getting more snaps, maybe lessen the amount of snaps that Coleman gets and increase Moore's, because he needs to be on the field more often.
He says, my concern with Brady is Diggs as number one wide receiver after Brady took over.
Yeah.
44 receptions, 388 yards, 1 touchdown in 9 games with Brady. Those are Coleman's numbers. Interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Would Coleman's numbers maybe be better with a
I do
Abel?
think, though, definitely, I do think Steph, although the numbers weren't there, operated in that like Amari Cooper-like role where you are commanding the respect of a number one corner so everybody else can eat. So it's an everybody eats offense because of that. So I still I still think the benefit of having that guy on the outside is extremely important. And right now, we're not getting a lot of respect there.
Yeah, so we got no Kincaid for the next 2 to 4 weeks. He's
Right.
been our most promising receiver. He's been our main guy. Who steps up? Who steps up now?
Jackson Hawes. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. I love Jackson Hawes.
He's
I
been
think
great.
he's an absolute dog. Yeah, for sure. I do think we'll see the elevation of Gabe Davis at some point here. I did see Palmer obviously been practicing a little bit and kind of getting back to doing some drills. But I think we're going to see Gabe Davis season very soon here. I have a good feeling.
Are you excited about that? Do you think he's
kind of
magically going to turn things around?
I don't know if he'll turn things around, but what he does offer, good blocker. I honestly, I love Tyrell Shavers, but I actually think he's an upgrade from Tyrell Shavers.
I don't know, buddy.
I know.
I don't know.
He might not have the same straight line speed that Shavers does, but I do think just the familiarity, the chemistry that he has with Josh, the fact that he averaged over 15 yards a catch here in Buffalo, although 50-50, I think he can still contribute in a way that is effective enough.
I mean, isn't he kind of like what Coleman was? It was like 50% completion percentage when they threw the ball to him, something crazy. I mean, he had some good days, but that's when he had Steph on the other side of him. I still remember that 13-second game. He was amazing there. I remember, was it Pittsburgh he was playing against? He had that 98-yarder.
98 yards. Yep.
It was amazing. So he's had some big plays. He's got decent speed, and he knows the system. He was injured a lot with us, and he's injured, of course, coming off an injury now. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping for anything right now, but I don't know if I love Shavers. I think Shavers has earned his time with this team, and I would love them to throw him the ball more. It's another guy. Shavers is not got cement in his boots. Quick dude, tall dude. We've seen him take it to the house. Good hands. I've not seen the dude when they throw a ball to him dropping it. And I feel like, did I hear that when Josh was asked about that interception he threw, that he was actually looking for someone in the back of the end zone? Was that true? Did I hear that on your guys' post game?
It was Shavers. Yeah, he was actually looking for Shavers.
Trying
in the back
to
of the
throw
end
it
zone.
to Shavers.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of the end zone. And it wasn't like he was, I feel like it wasn't like he was pressured. I mean, he had people, he had time. And then if he was throwing it to the back of the end zone, he clearly didn't see that guy just standing right in front of his line of sight and threw it right to him. So I don't know. That was a little weird. But you think he's better than Shavers? I say maybe, only because he knows the system more. But I'll tell you what, Shavers has been with us, 3-4 years? 3 years at least now.
Yeah, 3 years.
So he knows the system quite well. So I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll give him a chance. Bring him on. Can't be any worse.
I agree. I was just looking. I was curious to see what Gabe Davis's snap count looked like in terms of how many snaps he lined up out wide compared to how many snaps he lined up in the slot. And it's about 67% out wide. Actually, maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, 67% out wide and like 33% in the slot. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, Tony says you can pile all the French fries and cream spinach onto a plate. Still terrible. Who wants
That's well
cream
put, Tony.
spinach? That's terrible, though. It's cream spinach. You still need a steak. Without the main course, it's not a meal. It's just a
Fair.
bunch of sides. That's the wide receiver room. That's the wide receiver room in Buffalo. Yeah, 100%. Don't think a guy needs to step up. I think they need to look for and use more. I just cannot comprehend why he is not on the outside and getting more opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed, Steve.
And let's not forget, I mean, as far as tight ends go, you mentioned Haas, but Dawson Knox. You want to talk about a guy who's been around a lot and he makes plays. He made a nice play in that game. They seem to not throw to him a lot. I feel like they got him blocking more. But get him involved. I know he's always had those. He's still, I think, to this day, I think he had a drop not that long ago where it's like things he should catch, easy passes, and he seems to drop them.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen a lot of that lately, and I have seen him make big plays. Get him involved. This guy's been with us
he
for
caught,
a long time.
3 for 37 last week, I believe.
Yeah. He's definitely can step up his game as far as, and again, I don't think they're asking that of him, but they could. Why not? What is Chuck saying here? It's not Coleman sucks. It is the 6,000 sucks. I'm not getting this. What does this mean? You're able to read this type of stuff.
It
Jake.
is not Coleman sucks. It is the 6,000 sucks. SUX.
I don't know. He's got to laugh about it. You're gonna have to share the joke with us. Yeah, Steve, getting Palmer back will be very helpful as well. Yeah, it looked so promising the last time Palmer was on the field. We throw him that nice deep pass, and he gets hurt.
Yep.
Now that has been his history. Guy's been hurt a lot. We just seem to have all these guys that just have injury issues, and they can't stay healthy long enough. I'm not sure at Kincaid's pace. I'm not sure how long he's going to be in this league with all these injuries. The poor guy's
not good.
Suffering.
Yeah, it's really, you got to look into the strength and conditioning staff here in Buffalo. I mean, I thought we were actually upgrading. I thought we were getting better. But again, it just season in and season out. Since like 2019, there have been some serious injury issues. I just can't understand it.
Yeah. Is there enough trail mix in Buffalo to bring back Dable back? We talked about that already, Mr. Track Reviewer.
Right.
I don't think so. Again, I'm not saying fire Brady. I'm off that train. I don't know. I feel like Brady's done enough, deserves a chance to turn this around. I think he will. Even if you bring back Dable, let's say you hire him as an advisor of some sort. They're going to butt heads, man. There's no way that's going to work well. I just don't see it. Jake, you agree, disagree with that?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I can't see it. I think the thing is, if you were to bring back Brian Dable, it would be so undermining to Joe Brady. Like Joe Brady is succeeding and taking over for essentially that whole regime. I mean, Dable started it, then it went to Dorsey, then he took over for Dorsey, Joe Brady, that being. And I think as far as the confidence thing goes, if you were to bring Dable back, even as like an advisor, what that does to the coach's room, I just don't think would sit well. And also, I think Dable and McDermott still really don't see eye to eye. So I can't really see that working in general.
Yeah. Same here.
As much as I would like it to. I mean, went to my alma mater, St. Francis alum, from Buffalo, grew up here. Like, that would be awesome for him to redeem it, win a Super Bowl. But
do you think there's a team out there right now that will snag him for their OC?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a team that's in competing or a team that's struggling. And who do you think that that team or maybe those teams that you could see snagging them right now?
You look at some of the teams that are probably struggling on the offensive side of the ball that may just not have figured it out. I don't know. I'd be curious to see like a team like Houston or something like that. Just because he has roots there too. I know he's very familiar with Caserio and some of the folks there in Houston from his time in New England. It might make sense. Could be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Track Reviewer's letting us out in on his joke here. Think the first RoboCop movie, the car ad in it for the gas guzzling 6,000 SUX.
Okay. Love it.
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. You think I can remember that? Come on. Give me a break.
Pretty good Trek. I like it.
A
Always a
long
good
time.
reference to some pop culture with Trek Reviewer.
There must be something in the water in Buffalo with all the injuries on both the Bills and Sabres. I would be trucking in water from a different city.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, Steve. Yeah, I can't figure it out. And Brett referring to Denny Kellington, our head of the athletic training department here. Actually, one of the guys responsible for resuscitating and bringing DeMar Hamlin back, essentially. Yeah, he went to the Panthers after, I think it was like 8 years here in Buffalo.
You know, if you want to get players sick, let's say somebody sent somebody in to do damage to the Buffalo Bills. Could attack the water, but if it was the water, a lot more people in Buffalo would be in the hospital having problems. Yeah. I think it's somebody coming in at Barbell or some of the key wing places.
Oh, I hate it.
And doing something to the sauce, putting something in the sauce. And, these Bills players, they love Barbell. They love these. Have you heard of anyone other's favorite? Doesn't Josh say that Barbell was his favorite? And
Josh loves Barbell, but he always gives love to Mulberry as well, which they do. They are a top tier Italian place here in Buffalo, but their wings are so damn good. You wouldn't think for an Italian place that they'd have like good wings, but they are just phenomenal.
Yeah,
incredible.
So maybe it's the wings, Steve. And Steve, last time when we were talking on our last show that we both, I think it was Jake and I, or was it Sean and I can't remember, but you were mentioning something right as we were going off the show, and I kind of missed it. Are you competing right now? You got any competitions coming up in the near future? What's going on with the one of the top steak cooks in the country, maybe in the world? I know Steve's highly rated there. So what's going on in your world, Steve? When are those competitions coming up?
Steve, we got to see some videos too. I want to see. I want to see what these steaks look like.
Dude, I just want to get him on a show and we can kind of talk about that. And I keep missing them.
Yeah.
Give us that secret.
Should do a tailgate show or something with Steve.
Right, exactly. He wanted to. We just missed each other. Steve, I'm sorry, Brett saying Panthers maybe snag him.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
And then he says it's not Niagara water.
Yeah, I guess so, Brett. I don't know, man. Yeah, something.
Well, how you been feeling? I don't know. You got a little cough going on. Drinking the water there.
Yeah. No, I think I got that from my son. He's just getting over a croup right now. So a little Sully boy. That's our future left tackle in about 20 years. So he better figure it out himself. 6'7", 320. That's where we're kind of aiming for here.
You think 6'7", 320, Jake?
Tell you what, the weight is there. The height, we're at the 60th percentile, so we got to up the height a little bit.
Okay.
You know what? I'm thinking he's going to be a late bloomer, so I'm putting my hopes in that. If not, the backup plan is going to be fullback. He kind of looks like a young Pat DeMarco right now. He's got the blonde hair, so I can see that as well.
How tall are you, Jake?
6 foot.
Okay, and how tall is Big L?
6'3". So Big L's got a little height.
Okay.
And Blakers is 6'2".
Is he? Okay. So we should get at least 6 foot and above. Can you get to 6'7"? Ooh, that's a little bit of a stretch.
6'7's a lot. 6'7's a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. Kids are getting taller these days. Basically, whatever they're eating is having an effect. So you never know. But 320. You say 320?
I hope so. Yeah.
Want your boy to be an overweight big dude? You're okay with that? Come on.
Most dads want their sons to be a quarterback, receiver, glory position. Yeah. I want my son to be either a freaking left tackle, a nose tackle, a fullback, just tough and gritty. That's what I'm all about. Hilarious.
That's too funny. You were a receiver. Why didn't you go?
I was a slot.
Did you ever play a line at all?
Oh yeah, that's how I started, Mike. And I think that's why it's in my blood. My first year of playing Little Loop football, I was a left tackle. I wore number 7 as a left tackle. How about that? Pretty incredible. Then I kicked inside. I played center. And then I got farther and farther outside. I went from there to tight end to then receiver. And that was my forte, running routes, little choice routes. I'm a bring your lunch pail type of guy to work. That's what I was.
So you were a good route runner, though, right?
I wasn't the fastest guy like straight away, but laterally quickness, we're there, definitely there.
Jack Review says John Venus' son Bruno should be in the draft in the next year or two.
Oh yeah, that could be interesting. Where's Bruno playing right now? Actually, I'm kind of curious about it. I've heard him talk about him before, but I never really. Interesting. Let me see this. He's at UCLA. Oh no, he's at Duke. He's at Duke now. Interesting.
So Steve says we are at the end of the SCA season. What does that stand for, Steve? Like something Cook or something? What does SCA stand for?
I don't know.
And I have several competitions left. I didn't run hard last year, but I'm 7th in the points with only 44 cooks so far this year. I had 108 last year. Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we definitely got to get you on, Steve. We got to have just a nice, come on a Wednesday, the therapy session.
Yeah, that would be great. Therapy, nothing goes better with therapy than food.
Exactly.
So I'm here for that, Steve. Absolutely.
All right, Jake, we're a little bit over an hour, and I just want to finish with a couple things. Well, not actually, we're coming up on the hour. Just want to pivot to the NFL.com's power rankings. I want to see if you agree with it. We'll see how far the Bills have dropped in the power rankings. Off the top of your head, and I'll ask the chat as well, where do you think the Bills fall? Without looking, where do you think the Bills fall to? Where do you think they sit right now?
I think they're probably at like 9 or 10.
Okay. So if you had to pick right now who you think the best team in the NFL is, who would you say?
Maybe Indy.
Okay.
I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to be
Seattle Seahawks. No, Seattle
Seahawks. Interesting. Okay.
Number 2, this one I fully agree. I feel like this could be number 1. That's the Rams.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Rams. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Number 3, your Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, the Eagles. Makes sense.
Yep.
5, Detroit. What's Detroit? So Detroit's 6-3 too. They've been up and down. A little bit like the Bills, right? So you got them ranked 5th. 6th, your favorite team, Jake, the New England Patriots.
Oh, of course. Gross.
7th, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep. Sounds right.
Okay. 8th, Denver Broncos.
Oh my God. The most just the most boring 8-2 team I think I've ever seen. Yeah.
8-2.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Then I don't know. You guys must have cheated and looked at this earlier. You got the Buffalo Bills at number 9.
They are 9.
They are 9. And then behind them is the Buccaneers, who we play this week.
Where were the Eagles?
Eagles were at number 4, I think. Number 4.
Okay. I was going to say. All right. That makes sense. All right.
We'll go a couple more teams here. We'll do top 15. We got the Chargers at 11. They're 7-3. What do you liking the Chargers this year? I am. All right. They're a little scary.
I don't think they're pretenders. Yeah. I think they're the real deal.
This was a surprise to me because I just feel like the Packers have really disappointed. They're 5-3-1. They got them at number 12.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. Like, this is another team that lost to some teams. The 3 losses, and the tie was against. Who's that tie against? You remember?
That was the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, 40-40. Weird.
And then you got San Francisco coming in at 13, Steelers at 14, and then the Ravens at 15. And the Ravens climbing 4-5. I wish
the Ravens are winning out.
I wish I should have. I hope Tony did. I hope Rick did. I hope Chris did. They're Ravens fans. They would have placed the bet early on that there had to be good odds that if you were to bet that the Ravens will still either win the division or make the playoffs, because they were down and out, man, for a bit. Was it 1-4, 1-5, something like that?
Yep.
Before they started turning it around, and now you got Lamar back. The defense seems to be getting healthy. I've been streaming that defense on fantasy football the last couple of weeks, and they've been doing me just fine. So cool stuff there. Let's see here. 6 is Pats. Yeah. What do I have? 6. And I gotta say, let me see where the Dolphins are. Let's see where they have this as the worst team. Who would you think's the worst team in the NFL right now, Jake?
I would say the Jets, but I'm going to say the Browns.
The Jets. Actually, it's the Titans.
Oh, the Titans. Yeah,
at
the Titans.
32.
The Titans.
You got the Saints at 31. You got the Browns. Jets moving up the board, moving up fast. They're at number 29. So they're going to take out the Patriots here when they play them. Let's see, where do the Dolphins move up to?
The Titans are so forgettable. It's just like, yikes.
Dolphins are at 24 on the move. Yeah, fun stuff. Let's see here. Broncos equals Bears.
The Bears are an interesting team too. I mean, they're winning games. It's I can't quite figure them out either, though. I don't know. The consistency I feel like is not there, but they're figuring it out. I think now. I don't know.
All right, so let's do something a little fun as well. Let's go through the different divisions, and you tell me who you think's gonna. I'll tell you who the current leader is. We'll give you some records. Who you think's gonna win that division? So you got the East.
Yep.
Patriots sitting at 8-2. Bills at 6-3. Got a game in hand on us, and of course they got that win against us. Who do you think wins that? I want you to be honest. Don't give me your Buffalo Bills bias. Yes, we know.
No, I actually do. I think the Bills are going to pull it off. I think New England. I mean, let's look at the schedule here. I'm curious. They got the Jets on Thursday night. I think they're going to win that game. But then they got the Bengals on the 23rd. Now, Joe Burrow is estimating a Thanksgiving return. They play the Bengals on the 23rd, so he might not be back just then. But I think the Bengals actually can give him a run for their money. I don't know what something in my gut is telling me that. Yeah, I mean, they kind of do have an easier schedule, although they finish off with the Bills, the Ravens, the Jets, and the Dolphins. I think we can beat them. I think the Ravens could beat them. I know. Don't sleep on the Dolphins.
Don't sleep on the Dolphins.
And is it in Miami? No, it's home. But for whatever reason, whenever the Patriots go to Miami, they always struggle.
So who did that? Tell me the Patriots' remaining schedule.
Remaining schedule. So we have the Jets tomorrow night. That's at home. Then they're at Cincinnati. Then they're home against the Giants. Then they have a bye week. Then they're home against us. Then at Baltimore, at New York, the Jets, and then home Miami.
Okay. You can definitely see a loss to the Ravens there. I can see a loss. I mean, gotta expect our Bills to win that one.
Yep.
But if let's say we're tied, I think they have the tiebreaker, right?
They would.
Right. We have all three. We've lost 2 in the division. They haven't lost any. They'd have to lose to us and maybe the Dolphins. And then I don't know what the next tiebreaker is. Is it AFC? How many AFC losses?
Yeah, it would be common opponents. So yeah, right now in the division they're 2-0. We're 2-2. If they were to go undefeated in the division minus us, then they would have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
If we were to tie with the same record. Yeah, damn. It's going to be tough.
Yep, for sure.
But they are due. Steve, I agree. I really think, and I said this earlier in the show, water always finds its level. I know New England's been playing really good football. This is no disrespect to them because hats off to them. They have played well above expectations. I think Drake May is fantastic. Mike Vrabel's doing his thing. But they are it's the NFL. Like, it happens to the Bills every year where they lose just some weird games. And I think the Pats are due for that. It's coming.
Do I recall, were you the one saying Drake May should have been the first quarterback taken?
Yep.
Right?
I did.
Yep. And I think you nailed it. You obviously nailed it.
Quarterback scout. Quarterback guru, Mike. I don't know.
We got some great scouts out here. We got Tony, who could be a scout. We got Treckervier, who could be a damn good scout. We got you.
Well, then again, I wanted Kyrie Elam, so
hey,
just
that's where I failed. I wanted him too.
Yeah.
And man, I did everything in my power to bring that out of him, but it just didn't happen. All right, let's go to the next division here. We got the Steelers. I think this is going to be the Ravens. You got the Steelers at 5-4. Ravens are now rolling. They're 4-5. Got the Bengals at 3-6, and the Browns. Those two are out of it, but I feel like the Ravens. This is the Ravens.
Agreed. Yep.
All right. Can anyone catch the Colts? Another 8-2 team.
I don't think so. No, I do not. Especially if Jonathan Taylor keeps running the way he does. No chance.
Yeah. Okay. You got the Jaguars. And then you got the Texans who really have to go on a roll. So I agree with you. Colts are playing too good. And you got the Broncos and the AFC West. This is an interesting one. You got the Broncos at 8-2, Chargers at 7-3. Then you got those Chiefs who you can never count out. Who do you think? And again, 8-2 team, ugly wins. But hey, doesn't matter. You're getting wins. Who do you think takes this one down?
Oh, I hate saying this. I feel like the Chiefs finished this year 12-5, and they're going to win the division. I don't know what the Broncos are going to start dropping games. The Chargers are going to finish 11-6. I think the Chargers are still a playoff team, but my gut is telling me the Chiefs rally and win like 7 out of the last 8 games.
Yeah, so the Chargers beat the Chiefs the first time they played. I can't remember.
That was the first game of the year. Yeah.
Was that in KC?
That was actually in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
That was the Brazil game. Yeah, okay. Friday night game.
Where do they play in this game? The next one that they got coming up. It's at SoFi.
Here. If it's at SoFi, it's home field advantage. So regardless of where they play, home field advantage. It is home at Arrowhead. So
okay.
Yeah, that's week 15.
Yeah, even if it's SoFi, I was gonna say it's you don't have a home field advantage at SoFi, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sad to be a Charger team or a Rams team, because whenever you go to the SoFi, man, it's the other team fan base taking over there. Mm-hmm. All right, so you think it's the Chiefs?
I do. The Chiefs actually got the Broncos this week, so that'll be the start of it. They're going to beat the Broncos. Then they play the Colts. So they don't have an easy schedule per se here. Then they're at the Cowboys. Then they're home against the Texans,
Who's
Chargers. That? This is the Chiefs.
Okay.
Titans, Broncos, and Raiders. Interesting.
Yeah, Tony's like, if the Chiefs lose to the Broncos, then the Texans win. KC has a real chance to miss the playoffs. They're kind of sitting like where the Bills are, Tony, honestly. Yeah. They got off to a rough start, then they get hot, then they get slowed down by Buffalo. You just can't count them out. So it'll be interesting there. Steve's saying Denver is playing like the Chiefs did last year. Yeah, the Chiefs, dude. How many times
finding ways to win.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got comedian Mo Brown. Thanks for joining us tonight. Jets might lose on purpose so the Bills don't get the 1 seed. Ooh, you really think that could happen? Do you think a team with players fighting for their jobs, maybe fighting for the coach? I know it's a new coaching staff there. Do you think they would be that spiteful to say, you know what, we hate the Bills, lose on purpose?
I would hope not, just for the integrity of the game. But crazier things have happened.
Oh man, that would mean I can't believe the coaching staff would say that. The coaches want to win. They want to build that
no way.
That winning culture.
Right.
I mean, that'd have to be some type of team meeting behind the scenes there saying, hey, we can help out the Patriots.
In addition, you're trying to keep that under wraps. There's no chance everyone stays warm on that. There's no way. No way.
So I don't know, comedian Mo Brown. Teams don't want the Bills to get the 1 or the division. Teams might lose on purpose. I don't know. You can, before this year and last year, you say would teams be doing that against the Chiefs as well? I don't know. I just don't see teams purposely losing.
Well, the problem is the Chiefs really didn't have any competitors in their division this year because New England is 8-2. There's a real opportunity the Bills don't win the division.
All right, let's go to the NFC real quick. We got the Eagles sitting at top of the East, 7-2. Nobody going to catch them. We got the Cowboys at 3-5. That's an easy one. Commanders 3-7. What happened? What do you feel happened to the Commanders? I wish we should have Jeremy on the show. That team looked like a Super Bowl team last year. Made a nice run into the playoffs. I know there were some injuries to the quarterback, but is that it? Is that it? Because of the quarterback injury, you think they just fell to where they are right now?
I think it's him and Terry McLaurin. Both of them have been missing time, and I think that has totally sent shockwaves to the whole thing. Yeah.
All right, we got a here. Let's see. If KC loses to Denver, they will be a wild card. Buffalo and KC could both be wild cards. That's wild. By the way, wild card teams have won the Super Bowl 7 times in the history of the NFL. Just letting you know that. And super chat. All right.
thank you,
Awesome.
Scott.
Scott, thank you so much. Super chat. In your guys' opinion, what do you think is wrong with the Bills or Josh Allen? You think Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott should be fired? Do you think they still have the chance to take the AFC East? Talked a little bit about this, Scott, because of the super chat, which we super appreciate. Let's go back to this, Jake. What's your thoughts? Then I'll give you mine.
I think what's wrong with the Bills right now, it's a multitude of things all wrapped into one. So to start with your first question here, what's wrong with the Bills? I think the Bills in general, they play down to their competition first off, and they play up to their more superior competition. I think that's the first thing. Secondly, Josh Allen has certainly not played at the elevated level that he played at last year. I think you factor in some turnovers, you factor in some injuries, and maybe it is the personnel around him. It hasn't been great. I do think he is mentally maybe not as sound. He's not taking what the defense gives him all the time. We saw that. It was super evident in the Dolphins game. And I think he needs to play a little more in structure with Brady's offense. I think that'll help him a lot. Now, I think Brady can help him out a lot more by, utilizing the players, his personnel in better ways, such as getting Elijah Moore on the field more, such as maybe moving Keon inside, playing a little more slot, running slants, not choice routes, not as a traditional slot guy that we've seen this day and age, but more as like a big body guy to win those matchups against linebackers, nickels, and safeties, right? I think also the issue last week was our MO of running the football went out the window. The Dolphins did a lot of things that the Bills just didn't see on tape, and the Bills failed to make adjustments. So I think Brady needs to be better on that end, because now they have essentially laid the blueprint for how teams can beat us. So moving forward, Brady needs to be able to attack that in a better way. And I think that is on him. So to answer your question with the offense part, I think Brady needs to be better. I think defensively, McDermott needs to stop calling boneheaded timeouts and putting us in situations where we lose momentum. I think that is an indictment on his coaching, and it's something he still hasn't really grown from. I also think decision-making at times is not great in terms of going forward or not going forward on fourth down. You want to instill some confidence in your team. I mean, how different is that game last week if we go for it on 4th and 1 instead of punting the football away and then letting them go down and drive at 98 yards on us? Like, could totally change the outcome of that game. I think there's a lot of situations like that get us burned more often than not, and it's the same old thing, rinse and repeat. So we have to grow from it. I can understand your sentiment in wanting McDermott to be fired. As far as Brandon Beane goes, I think you see a little bit of an ego come out, and maybe our receivers aren't as good as he thought. And I think the whole thing about the Jalen Waddle thing last week is such BS, and it's such a half-assed response, because you tell me you can offer a first-round pick in 2026 as compared to 2027 to get a playmaking, game-changing receiver. Even if you think your receiver room is good, why would you not make it better? As far as I'm concerned, the first-round picks that you've taken, outside of maybe Max Harrison, Eddie Oliver, and Josh Allen, and maybe, I guess, Tremaine Edmonds, they haven't been great. The track record is not good, especially in those first 3 rounds. So why not go and get a proven guy that also ate last week and had 84 yards and a touchdown and kind of rubbed it in our face? I think there are some issues there, some stubbornness there. And as good as Beane has been on the financials side of it, and getting some guys and making some moves, we got to be better. I think that's the difference between a great GM and a good GM, is making a move like that, because that can really alter your season. And I think it makes us that much better of a team. I get it. We're playing a division rival. And also, that's the thing, too. And I know I'm really long-winded on this. I apologize. But Rashid Shaheed went for a 4th and a 5th round pick. Our 3rd round pick, Mike, no disrespect, but Landon Jackson, barely seeing the field. Okay? Mm-hmm. The chances of a 4th and 5th round pick seeing the field right away are not significant unless there are injuries. So to me, not enough was done on that side. And I'm very disappointed with it. I understand why fans are upset, and I understand your sentiment on why they should be fired. we got to ride it out with them this year and see what happens. But I do think anything less than, I don't know, an AFC championship is a failure again. A Super Bowl appearance really is a failure, and that should be the standard. So that's my answer, Scott. Sorry it was so long-winded.
And he's got one more. Do you think they still have a chance to take the East?
I do. As I sort of mentioned, I think New England can drop some games here. I think they are due for a couple stinkers, and I think that's the parity of the NFL. It's a week-to-week league, and you see these games that happen. Teams either pull out a close victory or they drop a weird one like the Bills did 30-13 against the Dolphins last week. I think something like that's going to happen in New England. Steve mentioned it. He said maybe the Jets tomorrow night. There's a chance that the Jets play them really tough, and they have played them tough in the past. So we'll see what happens. But I do think the Bills still have a shot. Absolutely. And we play them later on in the year.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree with you on the AFC. We kind of mentioned that earlier. Even though it's a 17%, it's either 17 or I think it's 17% chance to take the East. There's definitely an opportunity there, and we saw this a couple of years ago, Scott, when we were 6-6. We got out of the gate 6-6. We had like a 2% chance of even making the playoffs, and I think the Dolphins were 3 games ahead of us. Things can happen, and I do see a path where the Ravens beat them. I do see a path that maybe it comes down to that last game of the year, and we're Dolphins fans that game, because if they play like they did against us last week, I think they have a really good chance of taking New England down. So you never know. On any given Sunday, we know any team could win a game, and we've seen that ourselves this year. The fourth and one you mentioned, Jake, early in the game, I can't blame him for that. I mean, it was deep in our zone. What was it, at the 30-something yard line? I don't even think we're at the 40 yet.
No, we're at the 34.
It was early in the game. And I don't know, even the guys that like to go for fourth down all the time, I don't think any of them go for that early in the game. So I don't kind of blame him for that one. And then the fourth and one where, we got the great tush push, and we don't run it. We decide to roll to the right and throw some pass downfield, which is easily
that
defended.
Was crazy. Yeah,
that's just a horrible call down. That's on Brady. That's on Josh. I don't know. Josh can change the play based on what he sees. Right? He can say, "Screw that! I'm not doing that. We're going forward. Let's go." Do you think? I mean, this has been brought up before. Do you think because of McDermott trying to ban the tush push, that they're reluctant to use it?
I do.
Do you?
100%.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's interesting because they have used it. Don't get me wrong. They used it recently.
It's a cheat code.
Right.
Especially with Josh Allen. You get 3 to 4 yards every time you run it, if you run it the right way. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, Scott, I think as far as firing them, let me ask you this, Jake. Let's say the Bills don't make the playoffs. Firing is going to be happening. Let's go from there. Then I'll make the playoffs. You firing them?
Absolutely, both. Yeah,
both of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they make the playoffs as a wild card team. They lose in the division round.
I think one of them has to go, but I also feel like they are a package deal. So
I agree.
Yeah.
If only one went, are you saying it's McDermott, the coach?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, I think they start with the coach, and it's tough because I also feel like McDermott, you can see where there's been a little bit of pushback on his end, whether it be personnel or the cards he's been dealt. So I don't know if he always necessarily agrees with what Bean has done in the past. So, yeah, I'm curious, and who knows? I mean, we're not behind the closed doors, but I am curious to know how many of the moves that Bean has made that McDermott has actually signed off on.
Yeah, so it'd be a little unprecedented, right? I mean, I'm sure we can find some situations. I think there was I forget who the Chiefs coach was that had like a 14-2 season and was fired, but McDermott and Bean, in the last 8 years, we've won 5 AFC East titles straight.
Yep.
We've been playoff teams. We've been to the AFC Championship twice. And then they have one bad year and you fire them immediately. I don't know.
I
I
know
don't
it's
know.
tough when
I
you put
don't
it that
know.
way.
But I know everyone's going to be saying that. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And then you fire them. Are you able to find a coach? And let's say you fire both of them. If you're able to fire a coach, hire a coach and a GM, and then be able to turn things around the next season. Because look, Josh isn't getting any younger. Now, I don't see Josh like wearing down anytime soon, but he's getting up there in age. Been in the league, what, 8 years now?
Yeah, he's going to be 30.
Gonna be 30.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm sure. Let me go to the chat here. Thank you, Scott. I hope we answered your question. I do think that there's still a path for the Bills to win the East. Firing, it's tough to say for the reasons that I mentioned. But there's a lot of people that believe if you can't get us over the hump with the team that we have, it's time to move on. I don't know if I'm on that side of the fence. Jake, I know you go back and forth. I know Sean would be probably like, get rid of him. And Brett, I'd be curious what you're thinking out there. But let me see what the rest of the chat's singing. Thanks again, Scott. We appreciate the super chat. Goes a long way with helping out our channel. Appreciate you, man. John, they need to have others run besides Cook. Yeah, what happened to our other two guys? They used to be used quite a little bit more.
I know it.
We see Ty Johnson in the backfield on third down sometimes. Davis, I feel like their snap count have gone down, but of course you paid Cook a lot of money. You want that dude on the field, so it's a little tough. But I hear you, John. And why do you think that is, John? Why do you think Davis and Ty Johnson give us a better? I mean, if Cook's not on the field, how do you see that being better if we're running the ball with them? Steve says, I feel like the Bills' offensive worries more about possessing the ball to keep the defense off the field because of the injuries.
Yeah.
This has been how we've been playing. And I don't know if they're doing it just because they want to keep the defense off the field. I feel like that's just how they play football these days. And dude, it's tough. Like you saw Josh. That's why it was so brutal on that play that he threw the interception in the end zone. Dude, he was
There's a 4-play drive. Yeah.
Up until that point, he was killing. You could see it was starting to wear on him. And then to go do all that hard work, make that one mistake. It's hard to go perfect on 13, 14 play drives. And that's why a lot of teams play that bend but don't break. I dare you.
Right.
Go 14 plays without making a mistake. And then, I'm glad to hear that AJ is back as well, for sure. John's like, put McCole Hardman. I bet McCole Hardman will start as the punt return. Definitely agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Tony says Jets plus the spread on Thursday night. Dogs on Thursday have been the move. 100% cover rate versus the spread with an 87 outright win rate. Jets.
All right, I'm gonna follow your advice.
We got to do it. Tony's pretty good.
I love that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Comedian Bo Brown. Teams do it to the Yankees all the time towards the end of the year. You'll see teams try to smoke the Yankees out by losing to keep them from winning the division. Yeah. Interesting. I'll be upset about that. I'm a Yankee fan. CMB. I'm going to call you CMB. I think I told you that it's in the past. CMB for short. We're friends now. Josh Allen had players available on short passes, and Josh didn't pass them. That's what I hear. I wish I had the time to watch all 22. I try to get a hold of Sean on the way home from work because I know he's probably has looked at that. I don't know if you had a chance. Did you watch the rewatch?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, and that's what I really noticed. It was the Dolphins ran nothing but zone, and like I said, it was particularly cover 3. So that middle of the field was kind of jammed up, right? But there were opportunities underneath that Josh could have taken, and he just didn't do it. And it was hard to watch a few times. So
yeah. And then talking CMB, last year the Yankees won 7 straight to the end. Still didn't win the division because the Orioles and the Red Sox gave games to Toronto. Dayball was fired and Shen is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what do we got here? The Bills voted to keep the tush push. I thought.
Oh, interesting.
Did they? Because McDermott was very vocal of wanting it to be banned. Interesting. If they get fired, some fans will still complain. Yeah. I mean, John, what do you think? I mean, what's it going to take for you to say, yeah, they got to be let go. I have a hard time with a team that's been so successful other than getting a Super Bowl. Super Bowls are not easy to get to, let alone win. We know that. And I think there's how many teams have still not won a Super Bowl? Something like 12
6
or
teams?
13? Is that only 6?
I think so. Let me think here.
I thought there were more. Yeah, Chargers fired Schottenheimer after he went 14-2, which was crazy. I remember that. The GM would go first. Okay. And if other running backs run, the variety of other teams will not know what is coming because they all do have a different running style for sure. So I can see your point there, John. 100%. Look at Jake. He takes his personal, trying to go off just as like it's an easy Google.
11
it's an
teams.
easy go. Let's see if you're right. I mean, let's do it. How many NFL teams have not won a Super Bowl? Let's see. 12 teams.
It is 12. Who did I miss?
12 teams. Let's see. They got the Bills, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Panthers,
the Falcons.
Bengals,
Yeah.
the Browns,
Okay.
the Lions, the Texans, the Jaguars, and the Chargers, Minnesota Vikings, and Tennessee. Pretty crazy. I think the Vikings went to 4 Super Bowls and lost, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah, crazy stuff there. We're just all jinxed. We all got that curse on us.
Brutal.
So let's finish up this. Here we go. You guys think the Bills need to hire outside of the organization? If they
I would
have
like
to
that,
hire
Steve.
coordinator next year.
Yeah, different approach. I think having a fresh new regime would be nice. I definitely think so.
Yeah. All right, let's go through that. We're almost there. We said the Eagles win their division. The NFC North is interesting. You got the Lions sitting at 6-3, the Bears sitting at 6-3, and the Packers at 5-3-1. And then you got the Vikings at 4-5. This one, anyone's game here.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the Lions end up pulling it off, though. I mean, they're used to it. They're the they're the standard right now in the NFC North. Definitely.
Okay. And then you got the Buccaneers at 6-3, the Panthers at 5-5. That just shocks me, right? They're just so inconsistent. Yet they've been able to get to 5-5. But I got to think the Buccaneers take this one down.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're going to lose this week to the Bills. Hopefully, they're going to lose this week. So it'll be 6-4. But yeah, I still got to believe that the Buccaneers take that down. And then the West. Here's a good one, man. You got the Seahawks playing crazy good. You got the Rams at 7-2, and the Niners somehow, Jake. That's just a well-run organization. It doesn't feel, they've got Purdy's been out. They've got who's the gentleman quarterback in them? The
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Oracle.
They're 6-4, dude. 6-4. They lost Kittle for the first 4 games of the season. Fortunately, McCaffrey's been able to stay healthy, but somehow they're at 6-4. So Seahawks, Rams, 7-2, Niners 6-4. Who do you think takes that down?
I like what Tony's saying. I think the Rams take that division, and they might be the best team in the NFL. By the way, Matt Stafford, 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Guy's an MVP candidate. No one's talking enough about it.
Dude, I'm talking about him because let me tell you, based on fantasy football, when I went into it, I listened to Jeremy and Chris. We had that show. Yeah. And they were saying, if you don't get one of the top quarterbacks, just wait late in the rounds. And I did. And guess who's my quarterback right now?
Matthew Stafford.
I got him off the waiver wire like 3 or 4 weeks. Actually, I think it was 5 weeks into the season. I can't even remember who I drafted as my quarterback. He's been cut. But Stafford, and then I got Caleb Williams backing him up, who likes to have a 30 or 40-point game every now and then. But Stafford's the dude. When you got Puka, Devontae Adams, they got a really good running back group, tight end, dude. When you have those many skilled players, you're gonna and you're Matt Stafford, you're putting up numbers.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's crazy. He just got to 500 in his career with his latest win.
Yeah, that's
Isn't that wild? Because of his time with the Lions, it was that bad. Not for him statistically, but just record-wise. Yeah.
You know what's also crazy about him is because there was thoughts that was he even going to be able to play this season? Wasn't he having some type of weird back injury or something?
Yeah.
Was it the back or the shoulder? I can't remember.
Something like that. Yeah.
But people were like, is he even going to play?
I know it,
And
right?
here he is. He's out there. And yeah, Tony, of course, according to the NFL.com, Seahawks and the Rams are 1-2. It's the best teams in football. So,
Yep.
All right, Tony. Well, I'm sorry, Tony. Talking to Tony too much. Jake, my kids, my family have talked me in going to a movie on a Wednesday night here. Believe
What
it
are we
or
going
not.
to see?
Die My Love.
Okay.
It's a Jennifer Lawrence and the dude from Twilight. What's his name? Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
It's kind of like look creepy. The trailer, like they showed it to me. I don't typically like to go to movies during the week, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to join the family tonight?" I'm like, "Well, I got a show. Let me see the trailer." I looked at it. I'm like, "Okay, I'm in. Let's go check it out."
I like it. Yeah.
Let's get out of here. I want to say thank you again to everybody. I do want to mention again, thank you for the super chat as well. Really appreciate all of you. I do want to make sure you're aware that I think, Jake, let's put that date out there right now. We have our annual holiday family show. It's a fun show every year. This would be our 4th year doing it. First few years we did it, raising money for families with the Punt Foundation. We partnered with them, raising money for families who had a child with cancer. Last year, we took a break from that because it was a heartbreaker the year before. We lost a young man, Cardell, like a week after we did our show. But still, the money went to a good cause, and it helped that family somehow, some way, hopefully. Last year, we did just another fun thing. We wanted to be a show that not only your kids can show up, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to elevate we've had some great talent. They come on and we have performers. They sing, they do some great stuff for us. We're looking to do that again, maybe elevate it a little bit. I don't say elevate. That just sounds bad. No, we're going to change it up a little bit, but we always do giveaways. It's a lot of fun. We have contests. We're hoping that Santa shows up. 2 years ago, he showed up for us. It's hard to get Santa. Like, he's busy around that time of year, but Santa shows up. He gives shout outs to the kids. If you have any kids, grandchildren, whatever, we actually ask you to give us their names, and Santa will give them a shout out. And we expect to do giveaways again. We have gift certificates. We have trivia. It's a lot of fun. Jake, I'm thinking we usually do it the Friday before Christmas, which would fall on the 19th. I don't know if you've looked at your calendar yet, but
I think that works.
I'm thinking that's the date we want to go. So December 19th, family fun show. It's a lot of fun, and there's opportunity for even some of you to come on. We love to talk about some great memories for Christmas and things like that. And Steve, text me. I think I gave you my number, Steve. I'm pretty sure I did. So definitely text me. That's the best way, so I don't miss your emails at all. So I appreciate that. And then MT.
Take it up a notch. That's right, Tone.
What you're looking for is take it up a notch. Well, I don't want to say that. I was rethinking how I was saying that. It's going to be different because everyone that's performed for us for the last 3 years, I mean, they do it on their own time, and there's been some great performances for sure. I guess what we're looking for here is change it up a little bit. Instead of having different performers, we're looking to hire, and I'm hoping we can make the deal happen. This is a group that's performed at your company's. What is it? Do they come around Thanksgiving time, or is it Christmas?
No, Christmas every year.
Yeah, so every year they come. It's what's the name they're going by this year?
Telephone Tag.
Telephone Tag. It has been Telephone Tag, but they are awesome. Yeah. They have a lady who plays the violin. She's amazing. The singer's great. He plays guitar. Do they have a third person playing drums there for them?
So they collab with his name is Steve. He actually is a drummer for Strictly Hip. They're a cover band for Tragically Hip. But he also was Jesse James Decker's drummer as well, which is pretty awesome. So
cool. So we're looking to get them to perform for us this year. An hour worth of songs. We'll break them up, and we have different segments, and then we throw in some entertainment. So it's a lot of fun. Again, most of you have to have children, or heck, maybe you're still a believer in Santa. I know Tony's not. He stopped believing a long time in Santa Claus, and he even tells his children that Santa isn't real.
What a Scrooge, man!
Jake, right?
Unbelievable.
What's up with that? How can you say that to your kids?
Terrible.
There's no Santa. So what those kids do, they go into school and they break all the little kids' hearts. There's no Santa. What's wrong with you? You hear
rough,
those
Tony.
stories, right?
That
You
is
hear
rough,
those stories. Anyhow, good stuff, everyone. I'll let you know how the movie goes. Again, let me make sure I have the actual title here because it looks good. Let me see here. Die My Love. Die My Love. Go check out the trailer, dude. It is interesting, a little creepy. It's got a couple good actors in there. It looks like it's a thriller, honestly. So,
all right.
Looking forward to seeing it. All right, tell the kids the truth. There's no Easter bunny. There's no Easter bunny. There's no Santa. Tony, I don't know what you get out of that. I don't know what you get out. Somebody told me. Who was it? Maybe it was Brett. I don't know who told me this. If your kids can't believe in Santa or the Easter bunny, and they see those faces all over the place, right? I mean, we see Santa. We see the Easter bunny. If you're into religion, how are they going to believe in the big guy upstairs when they've never seen him? So I heard that, Tony. So I don't know. I feel like you got to let your kids, believe in Santa, especially Santa. You stop believing in Santa. That's why I tell my kids, Jake, you're going to need to use this with your kids. You stop believing, you stop seeing gifts under that tree.
Oh, I like it, Mike.
You stop believing, you stop seeing those gifts.
That's right. Yep. Amen.
Oh, for sure. Anyhow, listen, hopefully we didn't bore you here in the end of this. We appreciate all of you. Like always, keep an eye. We'll be having our Red, White, and Ruthless. Obviously, the pregame show. We'll continue to do the postgame shows, and every Wednesday we're here for the Mafia Midway. And, your therapy session talking Buffalo Bills and other things, right? Just makes you walk away from this. Hopefully you're ready to move forward.
I'm feeling better.
All right, let's go. I feel a lot better. Let's go get the win there against Tampa this week. So everyone have a great time or have a great night. Have a great rest of the week. Talk to you soon. Go Bills. Go Santa. Let's go.